Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, and I'm back with another video for you. Uh, so today, I haven't had too many videos over the past few days. That's because I've been busy over this past weekend. I was been in the city attending the New York Comic Con at the Jacob Javits Center. So sorry about that, but and the next few vids will be very much Comic Con related, and then hopefully we'll get back into the swing of like maybe some reviews or what. I will have to see what happens. But anyway, so I just thought I'd make one video. There will be a haul video of everything I've got. I'm gonna put that up soon. That'll be the next thing I put up. Probably go before this. So anyway, so that's that. But today I'd like to give you just kind of my overall thoughts and feelings about this year's con. It's uh, as much it's kind of similar every year. It's also kind of different because there's always something different that's going on, or not everything goes the way you plan it. Because it's a very it's a type of event. It's just a lot of energy and there's a lot of chaos going on. So that's going to affect how things work. So first of all, they tried something new with the passes. If you've ever gone to any kind of like Comic Con or like a toy show or something like that, lots of times you get like one of these passes and they give you a lanyard and you hang it around your neck. I got this one and this one from this year because I had the Thursday pass, and then this was the 3-day pass for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Even though I didn't go on Sunday, 3 days I was wiped. And they've the past 3 years, including this year, the passes have had images from The Walking Dead, and it makes sense. As when I'm recording this, Walking Dead is going to premiere in about a half hour from now, and obviously the new each season has been premiering right around the time of New York Comic Con, so it's very appropriate that that's on there. And different images for the different days, or 3-day pass, or single day Thursday, or what have you. Anyway, so they tried something new. Is inside here somewhere. There's like a little chip, like a microchip, and then that was used as you got to the Javits Center. They had these big tents. So first of all, there was talk of like a big rainstorm was supposed to come and hit the East Coast, which didn't happen. It was very nice. It was like 70s and maybe early 80s for the weekend. So no rain, but they had plenty of people scattered around. They had first of all they do like bag checks sometimes because they don't want people sneaking in weird stuff, and sometimes they gotta check like if people are cosplaying as like people with like weapons or things like that. They want to make sure there's nothing dangerous that they're walking around with. You don't want people getting hurt. It's a security thing. Totally understand that. But they also had people that had these things that they looked like basically like tablets, and you put the thing up here and it sort of scanned the thing and just kind of checked you into the con, and you had to do that as you were coming and going. So like if you left and we're gonna come back, you'd have to like scan it again and then scan it as you came back. And this seemed like a good idea. It seemed to me that it kept it more organized and getting people in, as opposed to just like the cattle rush that it usually is. It kind of became that on Saturday anyway because, each day it gets more and more people come, and Thursday is the lightest because it's like the preview day, and Saturday for any con, if you have something that goes for 3-4 days, if it goes the whole weekend, Saturday's always the busiest day no matter what, because there's no school, there's no people aren't at work. Hopefully, maybe they are, but Saturday is always the busiest. So Saturday was like crazy, but overall, me and my friends, we had a really good time. We felt very satisfied in what we did and saw, and I as well. There were a couple minor things that were maybe problems or things that slightly disappointing, but not huge. But again, overall, it was just a great experience. Lots of fun, lots of cool stuff. I'll go over a couple little minor things. This is just more personal stuff. Like me, I always check out. There's a couple companies that always have these big displays of T-shirts, all kinds of geek-inspired T-shirts. I'm sure many of you out there have lots of Star Wars themed T-shirts or superhero themed T-shirts, or let's say Walking Dead or whatever show you're into, Doctor Who or what have you. So there's always things like that. I always like to check out things and grab a couple new, because you always see something new and a different design or whatever. But there were like 3 or 4 different shirts I was looking at, and they didn't have my size on any of them. So I didn't get any new shirts except for I got the official Comic-Con T-shirt, which will be in the haul video. You'll see that. Other than that, I didn't get any new T-shirts. I was a little disappointed at that, because there were a couple that I really thought were cool looking. You could probably just get these online anyway, but it's not the point. So a little disappointed at that. Also, a little bit disappointed in the amount of Star Wars stuff. I mean, there was stuff there. Anything new, like Black Series, I don't need. Nobody had Series 2 or anything like that yet. But I'm done with Series 1. There's nothing new that I needed with that. But there's still, like, kind of older, newer items that I would have liked to try and picked up. But I didn't see anything that I really wanted. Maybe some comic packs. At one point, there was actually the Crimson Empire comic pack that I've been trying to get my hands on. And somebody had it for $25. But it was like I was on my way trying to get to something else. And then I forgot about going back for it later on. So I was like, oh well. But there really wasn't a lot. But for me, my focus was I wanted to try and get a couple of vintage pieces, which I did. Which again, you'll see in the haul. So you'll have to check that out when I post that. So these minor things. It's not to say there weren't any Star Wars. It just wasn't stuff that I was looking for. But overall, as usual, there's plenty of stuff. Lots of cool things. Lots of cool companies had their booths out showing upcoming items they have coming out. Kotobukiya, Mattel. Unfortunately, I didn't get as much footage of the con that I wanted to. 2 things was I took a video, it was a few minutes long, of the Mattel booth showing the various lines. And as one thing that was really cool is the Masters of the Universe Classics line, which I don't really get a lot of because they're not available in stores, and they're pretty much just online only, and they have this whole thing where it's like a subscription type of thing, which I don't know. I don't really like that way of doing, but ironically, I did pick up a couple on their website, which again you'll see in the haul video. But anyway, they have this new Castle Grayskull that's coming out, like a new updated version of Castle Grayskull, and it looks amazing. They had it on display, and it just looks super cool. So there's that. The one display that I really got a kick out of, which I did take a video of, and I'll be putting that at some point, is they had this, this year marks the 75th anniversary of Superman. And they had this big display with big giant S hanging from the ceiling. And in these glass cases, they had not all, but the majority of various Superman costumes from the over the years, from the Christopher Reeve movies going all the way up to the most recent Man of Steel. And I thought that was really cool. So again, you'll see that when I post that video, but I really enjoyed that. Another thing that was a little disappointing is the cosplay. Again, there was plenty of people in costume, and you had your superheroes and stormtroopers. A lot of Harley Quinn. So a lot of Harley Quinn and Joker, which is kind of the norm, but it seemed like even more so this year. I don't know why. It just did. There were a couple people that were actually dressed as Walking Dead characters, which is neat, with it being October and it's close to the show. One thing that was neat, one of the first pictures that I took of a cosplayer. I just recently finished watching the show Firefly, which I know has this like kind of like cult following, and I didn't watch it when it was first on for just whatever reason. And I recently watched it on Netflix, and I finished it like maybe a week ago, and I like instantly loved it. And I'm like, it sucks that it only had one season. Now I see why it has such a following, and probably my favorite character on that show, what this character Kaylee is just was just a sweet, positive character all around, and you just I don't know, I just loved it. Plus, I think the actress that played her was pretty cute. But anyway, there was this girl that just had a really great spot on cosplay costume of Kaylee. I thought she just looked great, and it was cool to see something that for me is new and instantly became one of my favorite shows. And now to see one of those characters like done live like that, in person, obviously not the real actress, but for me that I thought that was really cool. What else? So of course there's always lots of merchandise and autographs. I met again Anthony Daniels, who played C-3PO. I got to meet, for you guys who remember the show Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, there's Jason David Frank, who played the original Green Ranger and went on to other Rangers, but he was really awesome, and it was just a great experience meeting him. And I'm going to do a separate video on that because there's a whole story that goes along with that, so I'm going to do that after this. And then I got to meet another one of my childhood idols, which was Hulk Hogan, which I wore this on that day. That was Saturday, and still wearing it. And that was really cool because again, it's like childhood hero. This is like big deal for me. 2 years ago it was Mark Hamill, and now Hulk Hogan, and for me it was like so great, even if it was just for a few moments, to shake his hand and talk to him for just a few seconds, and he signed an autograph for me. It was just great. It was great for me to see it. Obviously you got a huge line and you can't sit there and spend 30 minutes talking to the guy. You got to move along, but overall, I've said this, that's probably the third or fourth time I've said this, just an amazing time, and just a great experience. So it was, despite minor failings, overall it was great. There we go, I said it again, I don't care. And if you ever get a chance to go to an event like this, or if you get a chance to go to New York Comic Con, definitely go. If you can, obviously if you can't afford it, don't go. But if you have the means to do it, if you can get there, just walk around. There's tons of stuff to do. Even if you don't have a ton of money to spend on buying stuff, there's video games. New York Comic Con does this. Some other cons maybe do this as well. They have like video game systems set up, and you can play video games. And they have like a couple of Wii U's, and I forget what else. I didn't actually do that, but it's there. There's people walking around, and like I said, there's people in costume, and there's people, all kinds of cool artwork and other things cool. And you're surrounded by people that just love all these same things that you do, and it's just, it's cool to converse with people like that, because you get like that friendliness there, and it's just most of the time, majority of the time, it's just very, very positive. At least that's been my experience. I've had very little negative at these things. So there it is. 2013 New York Comic Con. It's in the books now, and makes me think I can't wait for next year. So hope you enjoyed this vid. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask down below. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And then until my next vid, so long. Have a good day.